Hey, bookish friends! I'm finally getting around to filming another video. I was sick, and then I was working on my kitchen, which I learned how to tile, and yeah, and we're getting a break from the heat, so I've been outside a lot too. Anyway, finally getting to the, what's it called? Mid-Year Freakout Tag for books. And the first question is, what is the best book you've read so far this year? And that is currently tied between Simplified Organization by Misty Winkler. This book has been very helpful to me so far this year. And A Basket of Summer Fruit by Susanna Spurgeon. This is a set of devotionals written by Charles Spurgeon's wife in the years after he died. Very, devotionals are not my thing, but her way of writing is just so good and incorporates bits of scripture and hymns and is still her original thought. I just loved it. Something to aspire to. And this one is Learn to Love What Must Be Done. So it's for homemakers, moms who stay home and their job is to manage the home. And I've gleaned a lot of helpful information out of this, and I definitely plan on rereading it sometime in the future. Oh, what's the best sequel you've read so far this year? It is a tie, possibly, between Past Forward Volume 2 and Past Forward Volume 3 by Shatona Hagevig. I've really enjoyed reading those so much this year. I might read the whole series. I'm halfway through. So good. We have Willow. She grew up pretty isolated from people. Her mom decided to raise her on this farm outside of town, and they didn't have a car. They have electricity, but they don't always use it. They learned how to grow their own food, all this old-fashioned stuff. And it's been fascinating to me to see what skills she has when she decides to actually use modern conveniences, and then how she's interacted with people after her mother died. So good. Highly recommend it. Question 3, new release you haven't read yet but want to. I'm starting to feel like a broken record. I need to just read it. Yes, Your Serpentine Excellency by Kate Stradling came out the end of February. It is now the end of July, and I still haven't read it. And all I need to know is it's Kate Stradling and there's dragons, and apparently this dragon sets up a fortune-telling scheme, and it just sounds delightful. I think maybe the length is what has me intimidated. I usually read her books on Kindle first and then purchase the paperbacks, but I knew I wanted to read this one so bad. But on Kindle, I don't always know how long it is. So maybe that's what's holding me back. Number 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. It's a tie. I'm trying to only pick one book, but I just couldn't. I'm actually on the launch team for both of these books. The first one is Winter's Dawn by Morgan L. Bussey. It comes out in less than 2 weeks, I think. It's the last book in her Nordic Wars trilogy. I'm just so excited to read it, to find out what happens with Bridget, and I'm blanking on the other person's name. I just really want to see how she wraps up the series. And she said she thinks this is her best book. And the other one is Carabos by Lindsay Llewellyn. She's maybe becoming a favorite author. I've only read 2 of her books. I have another one of hers that I need to read. But I'm also on the launch team for Carabos, which is I don't know if it's going to be duology or what, but it has time travel, and her main character is homeschooled, and it has Egyptian mummy vibes, and I'm so excited. I just got my advanced reader's copy, but I need to be good. I need to read Winter's Dawn first, and then I'm going to be getting to that one. Carabos comes out in October, just in time for my birthday. And now we have to talk about biggest disappointment. probably Against the Waves by John Harris. It's the only book on my 26th Read in 2026 list that I have DNF'd. And that's just because it was all either stuff I already knew or way over my head. And I got like 50, 60 pages in, and I wasn't getting anything new out of it or learning anything. And so I just decided to quit it. Biggest surprise. Another nonfiction. I think I might be in my nonfiction era. The Heart of the Homestead by Ruth Ann Zimmerman. A lady at church gave me this for Christmas, and I don't think I ever would have picked it up if she hadn't. And it was really good. I wasn't sure how much of this could apply to me living in town on a not homestead, but I think a lot of the concepts in here are very scalable to whatever size property you do have and whatever limitations you have. Looking at you and your poultry restrictions. Anyway, this one was also really good, and I highly recommend it. And favorite new or debut or new to you author, I would probably have to go with Susanna Spurgeon, because I've read 2 of her books this year and I've given both of them 5 stars. I have another one. Sorry. Still getting over a cold. I haven't talked this much in a while. So good. Highly recommend these devotionals. I would like to get my hands on some more of her writings, but I think they're a bit expensive, the one I was looking at. But it'd be worth it. Newest fictional crush. I don't do that one. I liked Chantel's substitute question for this, which is the best nonfiction. I mean, take your pick. I've had lots of good ones. I think this one is winning out slightly just because it's the most applicable for my situation, but all 3 of these were so good. Newest favorite character, definitely Willow from the Past Forward series. I love her. Can't wait to read more of her books. Her story? I don't know. It was originally a serial novel. Book that made you cry. Books don't make me cry. Ever. But I will say the book I've read with the most bittersweet ending that I've read this year is probably The High King by Lloyd Alexander. The ending, I'm just saying, no, I understand, but no. It's kind of like the ending of The Lord of the Rings. Book that made you happy. Oh, The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon, Volume 8. This one was just a lot of fun. There were some hard parts, but I also just liked reading about the house party and the friends, hanging out, getting to know each other better. It was so much fun. I enjoyed my reading experience with that one. Ooh, most beautiful book you've received or bought so far this year. This is a little bit of a spoiler, but I have Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. I don't know that I have any other books with pretty edges like this. The dust jacket is really pretty. Underneath is really pretty. And then look at those end papers. Oh, it's just opposite. Okay. Amazon got me with their Prime Day sales. Okay. And that's one of the ones I got. And the last question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Definitely the 2 books that I'm on the launch team for, Winter's Dawn and Kerbos. But I also have not finished my 26 books to read in 2026 list. I still have Argosy Junction by Shatona Havig left on that one. I pretty much plan on going into that one blind. And then Cowler by J.J. Fisher. This was one of my options for the summer reading challenge, but I didn't end up getting to it. Maybe because it's the first book in a trilogy and I already have so many series going on. Miss Bunkle's book. Again, this was a possibility for the Passport to Summer Reading Program. Didn't choose it possibly again because it's the first book, I think, in a 4-book series. Wishtress, I think that's by Nadine Brandeis. I plan on just borrowing that from the library. Murder in Postscript. Shatona sent me this, and I think she enjoyed it, but obviously not enough to keep it, so maybe that's my holdback on that one. The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England by Brandon Sanderson. Again, it's one I plan on borrowing from my library, so maybe that's my holdback. I'm just not borrowing as much from my library. Probably should. I should borrow from my library and buy fewer books, but... And then I have Murder at the Spring Ball. I think this is the first Lord Edgington book. It's a very long series, but I already have this one on my Kindle. I just need to read it. I'm also not reading as much on my Kindle as I used to. And those are all of the questions. Well, let me know some of your answers for these. I really enjoy this tag every year. It's one of my favorites. It's fun to look back on the first 6 months of the year and remember some of those great books that I read maybe back in January or February, and to talk about them again in case you're new to my channel. And yeah, feel free to drop some of your answers in the comments, and until next time, happy reading.